Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. We got a complimentary quad here, and it's featuring the music of four different artists. So we're gonna start off with Traffic doing Shanghai Noodle Factory, followed by Emerson, Lake and Palmer doing Tank. It's an instrumental. Followed by Billy Joel doing Captain Jack. And finally, Yes, doing South Side of the Sky. So, man, before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Quincy number one. Quincy, thank you, man. I appreciate you submitting this recommendation. The three artists here, really good walk into the progressive. So I'm looking forward to that, especially that from Traffic, ELP, and yes, Billy Joel is always great. Not taking anything away from him. But part of my New Year's resolution is to take a walk into the progressive rock, psychedelic rock, also some of the southern rock. Just get back to that a little bit, and just kind of hone my focus. So this is a really good way of doing so. So thank you very much for that. I don't know if you planned it that way, but I'm looking forward to it all the same. So, Traffic, Shanghai Noodle Factory. Shanghai Noodle Factory, Traffic. Let's get it.
In a Shanghai noodle factory, place where I once used to be, nowhere doing nothing. People there were made of steel, tiny cogs in one big wheel, turning, never learning. Had to make a break. Soon I had to wake up, feeling stronger, feeling stronger. On my land of dreams, within possible schemes.
Imagine having a voice like Steve Winwood. You couldn't be denied.
In a Shanghai noodle factory, place where I once used to be, nowhere doing nothing. Villagers were plastic men, packed like roosters in a pen, crowing, never
is a place for the flute and rock and roll, yo. And the organ.
Had to make a break. Knew I couldn't fake it any longer. Everything at stake. Soon I had to wake up, feeling stronger, feeling stronger. On my own and the dreams within possible schemes.
Okay. Nice. A Shanghai Noodle Factory. He's just really motivated to get his ass out of there. Not only is it bad for his mental health, but his physical health, his whole being. Everything in his being is screaming for freedom. He's got to do something different, got to make a change. I hear you, man. Good song, damn. The great, unmistakable voice of Steve Winwood and the excellent musicianship of Traffic. Yo, man, these guys were just a joint back in the day. I wish that they were around a little bit longer, you know. Steve Winwood has had short bursts of being members of bands. There's Traffic, there was Blind Faith, Spencer Davis, and then of course his solo works. I'm not sure if he's been a member of any other group, but yeah, man. But all the same, he's definitely left a mark wherever he went. Great artist, man. I gotta feature more Steve Winwood. He's just one of those artists that I really have to focus on doing more of. All right, Shanghai Noodle Factory, and what we're looking at here is all album information rather than specific song detail. There's little tidbits of breakdowns, but nothing as a big feature. Okay, so Shanghai Noodle Factory appears on Last Exit. It's the third studio album by English rock band Traffic. Released in May of '69, it's a collection of odds and ends packaged by Island Records after the initial breakup of the band. Okay. They broke up in '69. The first half of the album consists of studio recordings, while the second half was recorded live at the Fillmore Auditorium. The album reached number 19 in the American Billboard 200 chart. Okay, so we're getting into song breakdowns here. I guess they're covering the whole album. Okay, so some of the studio recordings of this album were originally released on mono singles. The versions that appear on the album are in stereo. So Just For You was previously released in February of '68 as the A-side of a UK Dave Mason solo single. Little Woman, on which Mason was backed by the band Dave Mason, this single was released after Mason left Traffic the first time, following Mr. Fantasy. Yeah, Dave Mason, We Just Disagree. That's the song from him that I really like. Medicated Goo and Shanghai Noodle Factory were the A and B sides of a UK. Excuse me. Oh, let me try that again. Actually, let me get hydrated first. Hang on. Medicated Goo and Shanghai Noodle Factory were the A and B sides of a UK Traffic single released in December of '68. The mono single version of Medicated Goo is a shorter edit with false ending that is not heard on the stereo album. The song would become a staple of the reformed band's live performances in 1970 to 71. Something's Got a Hold of My Toe is an instrumental and appears to be an outtake, not originally intended for release. Withering Tree was previously released as the B-side to Feelin' Alright in September of '68, although the version of the LP is slightly different from the single. Feelin' Good and Blind Man, the two live recordings that make up the second half of the album, were recorded at the Fillmore Auditorium in 14th of March in '68. They were not written by the band members. Album reception. AllMusic's retrospective review said that Last Exit, though weaker than its two predecessors, isn't bad as profit-taking products go. They complimented most of the studio tracks as highly appealing works and praised the cohesive jamming on the live tracks. Immediately I'm thinking of Led Zeppelin's Coda. Alright, yeah man, so, alright. Not bad for a couple of mismatch pieces, but of course I'd have to check out the whole album. I'm sure it's good, man. Shanghai Noodle Factory, I really enjoyed that song. Excellent song. His voice is really the best feature of that song. The musicianship of the band is great, but it's definitely Steve's vocals that really stood out to me in that one, man. Alright, let's hit up Tank, and that is by ELP. Just finished doing a reaction the other day featuring ELP, so it's a really nice way to kick off the new year with these guys. Alright, ELP, Tank. Let's get it. Excellent. That was excellent. Tank. That was excellent. I could see myself listening to that often in the various moods that I would be in. One of those things too, you play it when you're on a long road trip or when you're coming home from a long ass day and you want to unwind and just sit down and put your feet up for a minute. What would you play? I would play something like this. It's really good. It applies in any place. You can go to a nice venue and sit down and watch these guys do their thing. I can imagine so many different scenarios where I would enjoy the hell out of this track. That was excellent, man. All right. They can speak without speaking, So, man, yeah, ELP is one of those bands that I really, really have to take a good look at in this new year, man. The progressive is calling me, for this year. That's one of my big resolutions going forward. So I'm going to take a really, really hard deep dive into the progressive, into the psychedelic, into the southern rock. Those are my three big callings for this year. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so Tank is there's more album information and just a little bit of song details. So okay, let's go there. Tank. Tank appears on Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's the debut studio album by English progressive rock band Emerson, Lake and Palmer, released in the UK in November of 1970 on Island Records. The album's initial North American release was several weeks later in January of 71 on Atlantic Records, the Caudalian Records subsidiary. Recording took place at Advision Studios July 1970 when the group had yet to perform live and lasted for 3 months. The album was supported by the group's show at the 1970 Isle of Wight Festival. Emerson, Lake and Palmer went to number 4 on the UK albums chart and number 18 on the Billboard 200 in the US. In Canada, the album reached number 17 on 3 separate occasions, beginning May 8th and was in the top 100 for 35 weeks. Lucky Man reached number 48 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart in the US. Tank. Palmer's solo spot, Tank, was composed with Emerson. The first section features Emerson on clavinet and piano, Lake on bass, and Palmer on drums. The middle section is a drum solo. The final section features Emerson on clavinet and Moog synthesizer. Or is it Moog? Album reception. Robert Christgau. No. Fuck this guy. Pardon my swears. No. Fuck this guy. I am not going to read anything from Robert Christgau going forward. You hear me? You understand what I'm saying? This guy is... I'm not going to read anything from Robert Christgau going forward on my channel. To hell with you. So, you send me what your impression of the ELP debut album is. I will look at and read your reviews. So, subscribers and patrons, you send me your paragraph form of a review, and I'm going to keep them, and in future reactions for songs off of this particular album, I will actually read your review rather than a critic's review, right? Especially if it's under this guy, Christgau, I will not read anything from him ever again. Yes, I know it's harsh, but I've had it with this guy, reading his shit over the last 2 years. And even Rolling Stone has had a redemption. This guy is just still on a high level of constant, consistent, stupid. I can't suffer fools for too long. No, I will not ever read another review from this fool again. So I'm going to read your album reviews. Send me your album reviews for ELP's debut. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, let's go on to Captain Jack, Billy Joel. If you're wondering where all of this is coming from, check out Jeffrey Davis's quad that I did for ELP, and you'll understand. But it's been 2 years building, so finally I've had it. All right, Captain Jack, Billy Joel. Let's get it. Excuse my damn throat. I drank too much coffee this morning.
Saturday night and you're still hanging around. You're tired of living in your one-horse town. You'd like to find a little hole in the ground for a while. So you go to the village in your tie-dye jeans, and you stare at the junkies and the closet queens. It's like some pornographic magazine, and you smile. The Captain Jack will get you high tonight, take you to your special island. Captain Jack will get you by tonight. Just a little push and you'll be smiling. Oh yeah. Your sister's gone out, she's on a date, and you
just sit at home and masturbate. Your phone is gonna ring soon, but you just can't wait for that call. So you stand on the corner in your new English clothes, and you look so polished from your hair down to your toes. Oh, but still your fingers gonna pick your nose after all. Yeah. But Captain Jack will get you high tonight and take you to your special island. Captain Jack will get you by tonight. Just a little push, you'll be smiling.
Captain Jack is some sort of drug.
Oh yeah.
Is Captain Jack another term for LSD maybe?
So you decide to take a holiday. You got your tape deck and your brand new Chevrolet. Oh, there ain't no place to go anyway. What for? So you've got everything, oh, but nothing's cool. They just found your father in the swimming pool, and you guess you won't be going back to school anymore. But Captain Jack can get you high tonight and take you to your special island. Oh, Captain Jack will get you by tonight. Just a little push and you'll be smiling. La, la. Oh, yeah.
Captain Jack's a form of drug.
So you play your albums and you smoke your pot and you meet your girlfriend in the parking lot. Oh, but still you're aching for the things you haven't got.
Okay, so it's
What
form
went
of pot.
wrong?
Some spiked up pot.
And if you can't understand why your world is so dead, why you've gotta keep in style and feed your head. Well, you're 21 and still your mother makes your bed, and that's too long. Oh, yeah. But Captain Jack will get you high tonight and take you to your special island. Well, now Captain Jack will get you by tonight. Just a little push and you'll be smiling. Oh, Captain Jack
Captain Jack. It's quite a song there, man. Quite a story being told. You talk about great storytellers in music. Billy Joel is definitely one of them. And sadly, I'm only familiar with a handful of Billy Joel's music. Of course, his hits, and then a couple of tunes that have been introduced to me on my platform in the last 2 years. But yeah, sneeze. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But I haven't had a lot of Billy Joel exposure. The exposure I'm talking about is the music like this, where he's telling a story, where he's singing about a very serious subject matter. I know that he is really, really well renowned for the songs or the stories that he tells in his music, and that's the Billy Joel that I really want to get to know. So looking forward to a little bit of that. Great exploration, man. And among these songs in this quad, I've yet to check out Yes, but I already know what they're about. This song fits very, very well, even though that Billy is not Billy is not specifically coined as progressive, but it just seems to flow very, very well in keeping with these tunes. So yeah, man, excellent song. And sadly, I've never heard it until now. So let's get a little background here. Okay, Captain Jack, Billy Joel. Captain Jack is a song by Billy Joel featured on his 1973 album Piano Man, with a live version on his 1981 album Songs in the Attic. There we go. It's considered by some to be the most important and pivotal of his early compositions because his performance of the song at an April 15, 1972 live radio concert at Sigma Studios on WMMR in Philadelphia, and the subsequent airplay this live version received on the station, brought him to the attention of major record labels, including Columbia, with whom he would sign a recording contract in '73. Wow. Composition. Joel wrote Captain Jack in late '71 while sitting in his apartment in Oyster Bay, Long Island, looking out the window, trying to find inspiration for a song. Across the street was a housing project, and he observed suburban teens going into the project and obtaining heroin from a dealer known as Captain Jack. Okay, so Captain Jack's a real person dealing drugs. Okay. It's about coming out, quote, it's about coming out of the New York suburbs, Joel told John Colliter in '74. But in my travels, I've seen a lot of the same suburbs all over the country. The song is sort of brutal, but sometimes it's good to be brutal and offend people. It keeps them on their toes, unquote. The song, according to Joel, is an anti-drug song. He says, "What's so horrible about an affluent, young white teen, about their young life that he's got to go and shoot heroin? It's really a song about what I consider to be a pathetic loser kind of lifestyle. I've been accused of, oh, this song promotes drug use and masturbation. No, listen to the song. This guy is a loser." In writing about the song in the liner notes of his Songs in the Attic album, Joel once again emphasized the point, so many friends shoveled under the Long Island dirt. The miracle of modern chemistry killed them if Vietnam didn't. Okay, wow. How true though, from his point of view. Pre-release. So Captain Jack was immediately embraced by WMMR audience. For the next year and a half, the station kept its live version of the song in regular rotation. Listeners called in wanting to know where they could find the song, and on what album it appeared. The song was such a big hit in Philadelphia that several New York radio stations got their own tape copies and began to play it as well. Though Columbia Records then president Clive Davis first noticed Joel at the Marisol Festival in Puerto Rico on Easter Sunday, April 2nd, 1972, the constant airplay of Joel's unreleased song kept the label's attention. Columbia Records did their best to track Joel down. After turning down a record deal from Atlantic Records, Joel signed with Columbia in the spring of '73. Wow. Well, I guess back then Atlantic Records wasn't big. It was probably Columbia that was bigger, so he went with Columbia. Release and reaction. Captain Jack was one of the 10 songs recorded in LA for Joel's Columbia debut, Piano Man. It quickly became a staple on FM rock radio stations after the album's release in '73. This song, along with songs like Piano Man and The Entertainer, were the songs that Joel was best known for before the release of The Stranger in '77. And here I am, never ever heard this song before. Reception for the song was positive. Jack Britchard of Rolling Stone called it one of Joel's best efforts. Stephen Holden said the song, a centerpiece of the album, compelled attention for its despairing portraits of urban fringe life, despite the underlying shallowness. Ira Meyer called it Joel's signature piece. Okay, wow, his signature piece. When I read these great glowing reviews of such a notable song, of a song like this, you kind of feel, as a reactor, you feel, damn man, where the hell have I been? How in the world have I not ever heard this before? I get that once in a while when, I come across a song, and then I get some people really jump on me for it. How in the hell have you never heard this before? I get that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know. But great song. Great tune. Deals with some serious subject matter. And Billy can sing about anything, can't he? When he wants to get serious with you, he can get serious. Alright, let's hit up our final track, man. Yes, South Side of the Sky. South Side of the Sky by Yes. Let's get it. they're trapped in the Great White North. That is South Side of the Sky. So maybe they're in Antarctica and some sort of an expedition that went bad or something. They're trapped out there and they're thousands of miles away from any form of civilized resources. So they're slowly gonna die. Wow. Interesting song, so much detail. Only a band like Yes could kind of give you that kind of vivid detail in your imagination, man. South Side of the Sky. Good musicianship, good harmony, a good everything that you've come to know and appreciate from Yes. So, South Side of the Sky is a song by progressive rock band Yes from their album Fragile. The original and a new acoustic version of this song, with piano as the dominant instrument and without the sound effects, appears on the 2004 US version of the 3-disc compilation album The Ultimate Yes, 35th Anniversary Edition. This new version is on the 3rd disc, which consists of material newly recorded for the album, while the original version of the track appears on the 1st. Okay, production and lyrical content. According to John Anderson, the inspiration for lyrics came from an article which claims that sleep is death's little sister, and the lyrics expand on the idea that death could be beautiful. The mountain reference in the lyrics is a goal humanity struggles to attain, after which there is death, a set of transitions leading to eternal sleep or the next lifespan. Chris Squire explained that Anderson wrote the first verse with acoustic guitar. Squire takes credit for the riff in the chorus, in the words of Steve Howe, do dee do do, and for a section in the middle of the song. The guitar riff for the song, said Steve Howe, came from a composition by his earlier band, Bodest, and the song was rarely played live because the vocal section came up short. Okay. In the liner notes of the remastered edition of Fragile, it said that this song is about a tragic polar expedition that ends in death, as evidenced by lyrics such as a river, a mountain to be crossed, the sunshine in the mountains sometimes lost, around the south side, so cold that we cried, and the moments seem lost in all the noise, a snowstorm, a stimulating voice. In the second half of the song, the references to the cold switch to lyrics that seem to reflect hypothermia, such as of warmth of the sky, of warmth when you die, and were we ever warmer on that day. In the introduction to this song, in Yes's 2003 concert at Montreux Jazz Festival, John Anderson said, "This is a song about climbing mountains. It's dangerous, but we all must climb mountains every day." Just about climbing mountains and getting to the top where it's really cold? Okay. Rick Wakeman contributed to the writings of South Side of the Sky and fellow album piece Heart of the Sunrise by adding piano interludes to both songs, but was not credited due to contractual conflicts. Okay, man. So there you have it, guys. That is our look at these 4 great songs, man. Really, really good, Quincy. Thank you very much. These were excellent pieces, and they really complemented each other well in a quad. Before I bounce, though, let me just see what's happening. So Jack, your reaction is next. I can't remember if it's a quad or an album reaction. Charles, Randy, Jeffrey, Amy, got reactions coming up for you folks, man. So thank you very much once again, Quincy. This is a really nice lead into my desire to get a little bit more familiar with the progressive side of rock And yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to doing a lot more of specifically ELP and yes, where the progressive side goes, and everything else too. You know, also the psychedelic stuff. I know there's some Jefferson Airplane coming, and a little bit more of the Southern rock stuff. So those are my three really big areas that I want to focus a little bit more on going forward. So send all of those great ones my way. You know what I'm talking about. All right, man. So that is it. Quincy, thanks again. You did good, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction and this look at these excellent artists. And I'm looking forward to doing more of every single one of them. So you guys have yourselves a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you in another quad. Peace.